Welcome to Championship Wrestling 85. I'm Gordon Sola, your host. With me are Sweet Brown Sugar and Buddy Colt. We'll be talking more to them in just a couple of moments. Right now, though, we do have a match in progress in the ring. Scott McGee moving out against Rocky King. One fall with a 10-minute time limit, and this match well underway. It's Scott McGee in the black trunks, Rocky King squaring off. King caught with a good hip toss by Scott McGee. Scott McGee with a good low center of gravity, buddy, and he is a dangerous adversary.
Well, he certainly is. Of course, Scott McGee is a former Florida heavyweight wrestling champion, so this is a very good test for Rocky King. Rocky King has been holding his own quite well with Scott McGee. You see right here, the easy way to break out of this hold is put a leg on the ropes, which calls for a just a break there. Has to get up and back, start back over. They're circling each other, having a lot of respect for one another. Very good break on the, or block on the part of Rocky King, but all to no avail.
Back leg trip by Scott McGee takes King back to the canvas. As I said, of course, Sweet Brown Sugar is with us. Sugar, this man King looks like he's got a lot of promise.
Gordon, I would like to take the time out now to say a special hello to all the friends in Florida and all my friends in Nassau. You're right, Rocky King has definite potential. You know, Gordon, I've been in Florida a long time. I've seen a lot of wrestlers come and go, especially young ones. Rocky King has the disadvantage in terms of experience, and Scott McGee, a very fine wrestler coming from a wrestling family. But in time, I do see some promise in Rocky. Maybe as the match goes along, I can see even more promise, and the people will too.
Side headlock now by Scott McGee as he has King down to the canvas, and referee Bill Alfonso checking those shoulders regularly. King managing to keep that right shoulder off. As long as he does, he stays in a predicament, but he is not. He could be pinned here. No, sir. Got the shoulder off once again.
Well, you notice how Scott McGee right there has his full body weight on the upper torso of Rocky King. All that weight just forces Rocky King to have to breathe harder, use up that valuable energy. See right here, there's a ride with Scott McGee on top of him. Once again, keeping that weight there. Trying for a quarter Nelson here, trying to roll him over, turn him over, because he's got to get him on his back for a pinfall. Rocky King just fighting. Well, there's the shoulders down momentarily, but not quite enough for a pin. Coming back up in a front face lock. Rocky King forcing him back into the ropes, which calls for a break.
And it is indeed a good clean break. Rocky King backing away. King has excellent muscular definition and conformation. And I would think Scott McGee caught him with a good shoulder smash coming off the ropes. Hip toss by King. And that's the one thing that Scott McGee's going to have to watch for is overconfidence.
That's what Rocky King needs to really look for, is to be a speed demon. And that's the only way to overcome a guy like Scott, but you can see he just got him, Gordon.
Hooked him and pinned him very, very nicely. And so the victory in this first match goes to Scott McGee, and a good display of sportsmanship there by both Scott McGee and Rocky King. Well, buddy, a lot of action upcoming, including tonight.
That's right. Tonight in Sarasota, and Ric Flair, the world's heavyweight champion, will be there defending his title. Now, tomorrow, there is a Super Bowl spectacular in Orlando, starting at 2 o'clock. That's right, at 2 o'clock in Orlando at the Eddie Graham Sports Palace. That way, you can go to the wrestling matches, see your favorite wrestlers in action, and still be back home in time for the Super Bowl. Also, this coming week, there's matches in Ocala, also Fort Pierce. And one other thing, Gordon, I'd like to remind some of the wrestling fans that had a hard time getting your book that is now on sale at all bookstores throughout Florida, and it's quite an interesting book.
Well, thank you very much, buddy. Yeah, anybody who does want a copy of that, it's available to bookstores. They don't have it. It can be ordered through Dodd Mead, and, of course, we'll have it at some of the selected arenas around the state, too. Sweet Brown Sugar has joined us, and Sugar, as we said a moment ago, I think this young fellow, Rocky King, shows great promise.
I think he shows a hell of a lot of promise, Gordon. I think he's courageous. Of course, Scott, he was giving up a lot of disadvantages in terms of experience, and experience is the number one thing in professional wrestling. But I guarantee you, one day, somewhere down the road, if you're not careful, you could see a shade of Sweet Brown Sugar come out in a guy like Rocky King.
All right, fair warning by Sweet Brown Sugar. I'd say also we're going to be seeing the NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair in action today in a match a little bit later on in the program. Also, of course, we will be talking to the Boss Man. We'll also a special Take 5 with the fabulous Freebirds and a special interview with Terry Gordy. The Boss Man did arrive at Tampa International Airport not too terribly long ago, and we have a videotape of his arrival at the airport, not quite in the style, apparently, that the Boss Man is accustomed to. Let's go now, then, by videotape to Tampa International Airport and the arrival of the Boss Man.
He's got it all. What's the hairdo? Hey, dog, give me a cigarette, man. You got a cigarette on you? Man, you know, I left him at the house. Hey, that's all. Hey, somebody got Mr. Wax out. Yeah. Boss Man's gonna be mad because that leak is gonna be shining up, man. You know, we got to go in house down. When you talk about the boss, man, you talk about big cash, baby. He's gonna be coming here on the sun, baby. All you people out there getting ready to go. The boss man's on the train. I'm saying, he's somewhere. Beverly Hills, baby. Beverly Hills, you know. We was just there last night. There ain't no secret. You know, the boss man got so much money. He let us go in and everywhere that we want to go. Woo! Yeah! And I love it. You know, just run away. Oh, yeah. Look, the boss man. The boss man was on the plane today. That ain't the right plane, man. That can't be the boss man. Rick Rude, all right. What's going on, Rick? What's up, Rick, baby? All right. How you doing, man? All right. What y'all doing riding that plane, man?
I was going to ask you guys, Boss Man, we got some problems. Boss Man is hot.
What?
Boss Man's hot. What?
Hey, wait a minute. Let me out of this. Come on, boss man. Come on. What in the heck you doing in this plane? What happened to the little jet? Come here, boss man. Oh, no.
I want to know what's going on. I'm sick and tired. What did you do to my jet? You took the plane out, you took the jet out, and you didn't put the hours down. They took it to the shop with it.
Boss, you don't understand.
It's uncalled for. Mama don't like me arriving like this. This man here thinks he's Sky King or something.
Boss man.
Look at this thing.
Boss.
Look at this thing. Look at it.
Boss.
I'm not supposed to be riding the things like this. What do you think this is?
Boss, TV, baby. We got the cameras out here.
This makes it all the work. That's it for you. Get in the limousine. You get in the limousine. That's it. No, sir. I ain't having that.
Calm down.
You get the camera. Cut the camera. The missing link.
Get out of here.
Keep in the plane. Keep him in the plane. Stay in the plane. Don't come out. You get the camera out of here. We'll be at the TV station in a few minutes, Gordon Soley. I know you're responsible for this, Gordon Soley. That's it.
Well, we'll be hearing more from the Boss Man a little bit later on. He is here and will be arriving here at the program at some later time, so be watching for that. And we'll be back with more action right after we pause for these words. Dutch Mantell with Shoe Baby getting set to go against the Red Raider. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. And wherever Mantell goes, Shoe Baby goes with him, that 10-foot bullwhip. And brother, he is most effective with it when he uses it. All right, square up, collar and elbow. Dutch Mantell getting a side headlock, going to a hip lock takedown. Keeps the side headlock on the Red Raider. Off the ropes, Mantell catches some good shoulder smash coming off. Mantell moves inside, hip lock, and an arm drag hip lock takedown. Off the ropes once again, Mantell with another shoulder smash. Mantell has been steadily out front since the very onset of this match, buddy.
Well, you know, one thing that really makes Dutch Mantell such a dangerous adversary in the ring is that he has such an uncanny knowledge of wrestling. You can look at his wrestling ability, always right there with every move. But then if his opponent wants to start using the cheap underhanded tricks, I don't think there's a street fighter around that is any better with the brawling tactics than Dutch Mantell. This man is just double tough, double mean. He will go any style you want. Right here you see him really hanging on to that side headlock. just wearing down the Red Raider. That could have been a mistake on the part of the Red Raider. If he wants to go to Fifth City, Dutch is right there with him.
No question about that. Mantell overhooks, goes into a vertical suplex, has the Red Raider back to the canvas once again. Mantell off the ropes, down across the chest muscles, and Mantell gets the 3 count. Dutch Mantell gets the 3 count on the Red Raider in short order. Goes over to the corner now to collect his hat and shoe baby. I want to, if I can, for just a moment, talk to the former Florida heavyweight champion, Jesse Barr. And he has joined us here at the desk. Mr. Barr.
Yeah, you know, Gordon, I have a few things to say. Since Jesse Barr came to the state of Florida, I've taken over everything, you know. I became the Florida heavyweight champion, and now the whole Florida state wrestlers, promoters, and everything are trying to keep my belt from me, you know. Everybody's been coming down here in teams or in dynasties, and everybody's got somebody else. You know, Jesse Barr's got friends too, you know. You know, I got Ric Flair, that's one of my greatest friends, but he can't be here all the time because he has to defend his world title all over the world. But let me tell you about a man here that has asked me to help him come in here because there's somebody that he wants. And I'll show you this man. Do you know this man here? Wild Bill Irwin.
I do indeed. You might want to show the people.
So should have myself. Take a good look at this man right here. You see this? He said he wants to settle an old score with Dutch Mantell. Dutch Mantell calls himself the master of the bullwhip. Well, this guy here is the king. Let me tell you that. And when he comes out here with his bullwhip, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to kick that Dutch Mantell's butt all over the state of Florida.
Well, just a second.
Hey, I heard you, buddy. You mentioned my name. You talking about me? I figured you're talking about me, Bar. You talk to my face, don't talk behind my face.
See this right here?
Yeah, I see it.
I'm
What about
just
it,
giving you fair warning.
Get out of my face, Bar.
Gentlemen, not here at the desk,
You come out
please.
here talking to me, buddy.
I'm just giving you fair
Well,
warning.
you give me fair warning. I don't need none of your lip.
Your days are numbered.
Yeah, okay, my day's numbered. Okay. I got fair warning, Bar. That's all I need, buddy. And I'll handle you later, Bar. Who's this guy looking for me? Wild Bill Irwin. Well, that's fine with me, baby. Because I like people to look for me because I am not hard to find, Jack.
Well, that is a natural fact. He is not hard to find, and when and if Mr. Irwin decides to come here, Dutch Mantell will be waiting for him, that's for sure. We'll be right back.
Waiting for the arrival of 2 of the Freebirds, Michael Hayes and his brother, Buddy Roberts. And then coming very soon, we're going to have their partner, the other Freebird, Bam Bam Gordy Terry will be here. Well, here comes the ostentatious Michael Hayes and his partner, Buddy Roberts. Very good to have you here. We were just mentioning that your other brother.
That's
Gordy,
right. You know, we're real excited about it, buddy. There's a whole lot of things going on, and a whole lot of things are going to come to an end. And basically what we're talking about is them Russians. You know, they've been busting on my head a little bit. That's okay. It ain't the first time it happened, and I'm sure it won't be the last. But there is one thing I'm pretty sure is going to be the last. I believe they've just about had their last time around here. Because you know what's coming up, buddy. There's a cage match coming up. And in that cage match, it ain't bragging, it's a fact. We're the baddest when it comes down. And it's going to come down on you. And once one of them loses, they're going to be out of here. And it doesn't matter to me where it happens, baby.
We'll have to agree with you there. Cage matches are very dangerous. As always, someone has to get hurt in a cage match. There is no running, no hiding.
Well, let me tell you what, the reason I came here is to get Russians and send them out of the state of Florida, and we got Bam Bam coming. Hey, it's going to be Bam Bam, and I'll tell you what, we're going to be finished with these Russians once they get in the cage. Hey, that's our type of match. Hey, we're Bad Street, right?
Hey, if anybody don't know who Terry Gordy is, he's 285 pounds of walking, talking, romping, stomping, graveyard destruction. And he's going to be standing right with us. 720 pounds of the fabulous Freebirds. And talking about tomorrow afternoon, buddy, 2 p.m. Super Bowl Spectacular right there in Orlando. The Freebirds are going everywhere. We're going to be in Ocala. We're going to be in Melbourne. And we're going to be whooping some heads anywhere we go. You can bet on that.
Well, I understand you'll also be in Miami on the 30th.
That's right. We're going to be in Miami on the 30th. And we got a special friend's going to be there. JJ French from Twisted Sister, the big rock group with the hit We're Not Gonna Take It. And I want to rock, and I do rock and roll all day long. But JJ French is going to be there in Miami on the 30th. I also understand that Hacksaw Butch Reed is going to be down there, so you know it's going to be a big thing, man.
Very well, I'd like to thank you both very much. We also have a very special
Yeah,
VTR
Bam Bam had
film.
something he wanted to say to the people, and I'm sure everybody wants to hear what he's got to say. But people, rest assured of this, we're going to say goodbye to them Russians.
Well, let's go to this special VTR film with Bam Bam Gordy.
I can't wait to get to FLA. Everybody's been asking where Bam Bam's at. Well, Bam Bam's on his way. And I'm on my way to take care of a little business, and it don't matter where it's at. It don't matter if it's in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm sure there's going to be pandemonium there. It don't matter if it's in Miami, Florida. I'm sure when I get there, I'm sure my brothers are already causing a lot of pandemonium, but there's going to be a lot more when I get there. It don't matter. Hey, it don't matter if it's out in the Okefenokee swamps. I don't mind taking somebody out there in a boat and tying a rock to them and throwing them overboard. If that's what they want to do, if that's the way they want to take care of business there, then we can take care of business. Just it don't matter where it's at. Mark Lawrence, Jacksonville, Miami, Tampa, anywhere in Florida. The Freebirds are going to be taking care of some business, and Bad Street's going to be there. And I'm sure everybody knows the story about Bad Street. Man, we was born on Bad Street. We was brought up fighting right there on Bad Street, and we was the baddest people on the street because, man, we lived in the last house on the right. Just like it says in the song, I'd like to say hello to my brothers, Buddy and Mike. I'm looking forward to being there.
All right, this match, one fall, 10-minute time limit now. It'll be Mark and Jay Youngblood, the U.S. Tag Team Champions, going out against Paul Garner and Randy Barber. That's Garner going to the outside now, and it'll be Randy Barber moving out first against Mark Youngblood. One fall, 10-minute time limit. The Florida heavyweight champion, Mr. B, Brian Blair, has joined us, and I know, of course, that you're particularly impressed with the Youngbloods.
I sure am, Gord. You know, they took those belts right from the Russians, just like they said they were going to do. And, you know, when Mark and Jay get out there, there's always a lot of action. They're brothers, and like they say, blood's thicker than water. What a tremendous chop. I heard that chop all the way here, Gord. You know, a lot of people use forearms, a lot of people use fists, and you got to use what you're best at. And I'll tell you what, these two guys have got chops. And I was looking at Mike Golden the other day, and he's got bruises all over his chest, all over his, just welts like I've never seen before from Mark and Jay Youngblood's chops. Tremendous shoulder smash. These guys are perpetual motion. Excellent suplex.
Jay Youngblood now with a side headlock, gets over, makes the tag with Mark Youngblood, and so Mark moves into the ring, and as Barber tried to set up Jay Youngblood, he found himself caught by Mark Youngblood. Mark coming off the ropes, down across the face of Randy Barber. And Garner started to move into the ring out of camera range, but was blocked by referee Bill Alfonso. Alfonso back in checking those shoulders. And as Brian said a moment ago, buddy, the Youngbloods are indeed perpetual motion.
Well, they are certainly wrestling champions. Since becoming the United States Tag Team Champions for the National Wrestling Alliance, these men have been fighting champions. They have been taking on all top contenders. Well, look at this move here. Going up for a flying head scissor with a side headlock on one man, both men down. This speaks for itself. The caliber of wrestlers you're seeing with these United States Heavyweight Tag Team Champions here. Just like he said, perpetual motion, always on the move, never giving his opponent a chance to get the upper hand. Going into his war dance now, and this man is an exciting wrestler to watch.
No question about that. Garner off the ropes. Garner caught with a lariat. And again, the tag is made. Mark Youngblood moving in down across the body of Paul Garner. Jay Youngblood cuts him off at the pass. And so, a well-deserved, well-fought victory by Mark and Jay Youngblood. Would like to mention, too, that Brian Blair, of course, Mr. B, is working very closely with the Tampa Police Athletic League, the PAL, in coaching their wrestling team. And I understand now from Corporal Larry Siegel of the Tampa Police Department that PALs around the state are beginning to form wrestling teams, and apparently there's going to be a statewide tournament upcoming in the near future. And I certainly want to thank Brian personally for his...
Gentlemen, why is here?
Well, the boss man has finally arrived.
I want to be a gentleman. Percy Pringle.
Buddy Colt.
Well, the boss man is here.
The master of the ring, huh? The master of the ring? Well, I want all my dynasty to get together. This is the Pringle dynasty. Mr. Rick Rude, the missing link, the pretty young things. This is the Pringle dynasty. This is the man that I've searched all over the world to get together. The best group of wrestlers in the world today are right here. The Pringle family has brought them in. Now, everything didn't go right. My arrival at the airport didn't go right, and a few other things hasn't gone right. But starting now, everything's going right, Mr. Gordon Solie. Everything's going right. If you are a champion, if you have a belt, you better watch out. Your days are numbered because your belts are going to be taken away. These are the new champions. These are the wrestlers of 1985. These are the champions of Florida. The missing link, Rick Rude. The pretty young things, the Pringle dynasty with my mother, my precious mother behind us all with her money and her wealth, and with our management, we're going to the top. Now, I want y'all to take the missing link back to the dressing room, get his tights on. Get his boots on. We fixing to show you people what the missing link can do and what my other men can do. Y'all go get his boots. Go get him ready, because we're going to have a match here. We're going to have a match today. Oh, shut up! What do you mean?
Well, we've got the world champion Ric Flair. We've got the Southern champion Pistol Pez Watley. We've got the Hollywood Blondes wrestling. But we don't have...
That's the third time! What is wrong with this place around here? I just can't understand it. I brought my men in here to wrestle, and they're going to wrestle. I guarantee you, one of my men is going to wrestle today. I want to go back there and talk to the promoter, but you're going to see the Pringle dynasty, and you're going to see it today. Today!
We'll find out about that, but they certainly aren't scheduled to be competing here today. We were expecting his arrival. He has arrived, that's for sure, and that missing link is something else. But, well, I'll tell you what, we'll be back, and we'll see what happens later on.
Cool. Right, we have a match in the ring waiting for the...
Okay, we're waiting now for the arrival of the NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair. Flair will be competing, one fall, 10-minute time limit, a rare opportunity to see this man in action in a non-title event, and it is Ric Flair.
I always like... I've always been considered the most fashionable athlete in the world today. So because I'm the world champion, and because I'm standing here with one of the greatest wrestlers alive today, Mr. Jesse Barr, I thought that I'd do something a little special for all the wrestling fans in the state of Florida, and that's wrestle on your program today. Now I feel sorry for this young gentleman because today I really feel like making an example of somebody. Gordon, you're looking as classy as ever, brother.
Well, thank you so very much. Ric Flair, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, going toward the ring at this time. This match is, of course, one fall with a 10-minute time limit, and Flair, resplendent with the very, very costly robes that he wears to the ring.
Doesn't Ric Flair show class in everything he does? Have you ever seen a person with more class than Ric Flair?
That's the voice of Jesse Barr, of course, a former Florida heavyweight champion and a close personal friend of Mr. Flair's. Flair removing that robe, and of course you can you'll be able to get a.
You know, Gordon, they used to call me the greatest, and now they're redefining the word because just how great can one athlete be, huh?
I don't know if they could hear the.
That's where it's looking to the truth there.
There's the $10,000 gold and diamond encrusted NWA World Heavyweight Championship belt.
There's the trophy that every man in professional wrestling dreams of having, but only few of us will be able to acquire it.
You see, us is a rather all-inclusive phrase, Mr. Barr. Hip lock takedown, a quick head scissors by Jack Hart, but Flair breaks it, and Hart again goes for the head scissors. Flair away from it once again.
Look at the speed of the world champion here. Look at the speed, the fantastic speed of Ric Flair.
Good drop toe hold by Ric Flair, and he keeps the ride going as Hart tries to sit out and escape.
Right all day long.
You know, it's very easy to see why Ric Flair is the world's heavyweight champion. He's always in control. Right here, Jack Hart was able to pull a reversal and come up with a hammerlock. But I would say, when knowing Ric Flair, this won't be for long. Ric Flair, of course, being the world's heavyweight champion, the NWA champion, recognized throughout the world, the largest and oldest governing body of
Did you see that?
in the world.
He accused Ric Flair of pulling his hair. Now that everybody knows that he didn't pull his hair.
Well, the champion...
That's quite an accusation to say that the world champion would pull your hair.
Well, Mr. Barr, there have been allegations made at knee driven to the midsection of Hart and a chop in the throat. Puts Hart back to the canvas, and Flair very much in control of the situation at this point in time.
Look at every move that he does is counted out for. He makes no unnecessary moves. Every move he makes means something to the match.
Series of forearms, and Flair somewhat upset with the referee.
Perfectly legal.
Hip toss by the world champion Ric Flair. And Hart fires to the midsection.
Look at that other guy throw a fist.
Flair now with a front chancery on Jack Hart, has him back to the canvas. Now underhooks the arm and hooks the far leg. Reverse Nelson, and let's see if he's going to try and exact a pinfall. Cradle. Hart able to slip away from it.
Not completely away.
See Ric Flair just putting that pressure on this front chancery. This takes a lot out of the body. That's really twisting that neck, putting a big crimp in that breathing.
Back to the side, headlock. Hart fires him off. Flair catches him a good shoulder smash coming off the ropes. It's Flair charging in, caught with a high hip toss by Jack Hart. Hart goes in for a beautiful drop kick. And Flair hit the canvas, and Flair. And so Mr. Hart suddenly caught by Flair as he charged in, just a bit recklessly perhaps.
Oh, did you see Dutch Mantel get all hot and worried when I talked about somebody that is much better than him coming in here as my friend with a bullwhip? Huh? He looked awful nervous to me. But he's going to have to pay for putting his hands on my face like he did.
Jack Hart back to the canvas once again, and Flair very definitely in control of the situation here now.
Punish him a little more, Rick. Punish him a little more. Teach him.
And it's Hart with a forearm to the side of the jaw, but Flair retaliates. Hart retaliates, and Flair now firing to the midsection, a chop into the throat, another chop, and another. And Hart has got to be rocking and reeling here.
See, all done completely legal.
High vertical suplex by the NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
That's it. He says, now we go to school. Now he's going to teach him exactly what wrestling is all about.
And it's Flair to the spinning toe hold, from the spinning toe hold into the Eddie Graham figure 4 leg lock.
He better give that up pretty quick before his leg is completely broken. That's it. Punish him, Rick.
That was a submission hold. The figure 4 leg lock submitted by Ric Flair.
Have you ever seen a tremendous athlete like Ric Flair work so good in a match? And that guy did absolutely not one counter against him. He had complete control of that match.
That's
and then
why.
had to teach him his little lesson.
Woo! Guys like myself and the great Jesse Barr always rise above all the rest, because above anything else in the world today, we are men. Men know how to compete on a championship level. Woo! And we don't do bad with the ladies either, right, Big Jess?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Daddy.
All right, I think that's enough, and we'll be back in just a moment. It's time now for our Missing Children's Bulletin. This week we have 2 17-year-olds that we're concerned about. This is Ritza Yoconda Romero. It's time now for our Missing Children's Bulletin. This week we have 2 17-year-olds that we're concerned about. This is Ritza Yoconda Romero. 8522. Our second missing person is Michael Francis Rosenberg. He is also 17. He is 6 feet tall, weighs 145 pounds. He was last seen September 13th, 1984, in Merritt Island, Florida. He may be driving a 1972 brown Chevrolet. Anyone having any information, please contact 1-800-342-0821. Now let's go to the ring. Pistol Pez Watley, the Southern heavyweight champion, getting set to move out against Mike Golden. 1 fall with a 10-minute time limit. Waiting now for the bell. There's the bell. Might mention that Billy DeMoya of the Rockefellers out of Fort Lauderdale sent us an interesting card saying that they were hoping that 85 would be the year for Brian Blair, and it is indeed so far, because Brian Blair, of course, does have the Florida Heavyweight Championship. Good move by Pistol Pez Watley, the Southern Heavyweight Champion. A full body slam back into a side headlock. Watley, hip lock takedown on Mike Golden. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit.
Well, this Pistol Pez Watley is grinding in with his side headlock. I'm sure that he is not underestimating the ability of Mike Golden. Mike Golden's been around for some time. You can look at the physical development of this man. He's quite impressive. Right now it's going to be up to Mike Golden to come out, and well, he looks like he forced him into the ropes. Down goes Mike Golden, and Pistol Pez Watley looks like he's going back to that side headlock takedown, and once again laying there with the upper weight of his body across the chest of Mike Golden. Mike Golden rolling him over, trying for a pin, but not yet. Right now Pistol Pez Watley is still in 100%.
Certainly no question about that. Watley, as we've said before, out of the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. And, well, I see that Mr. Rick Rude and the boss man have arrived on the scene.
I've been listening to what you people had to talk about, and it sounds like it's real boring stuff. Gordon, we've run into each other before, haven't we? Why don't you tell these people about something they might want to hear about? Why don't you tell them about the world professional arm wrestling champion? Why don't you tell them about some of my accomplishments? And why don't, Gordon, I'm going to give these people a treat right now. I'm going to let them take a look at a real athlete. I'm going to let them see what's going on the west side.
Well, indeed, Mr. Rick Rude.
Tell them, boss man.
Well, the boss man is here at...
Why is this pistol man out there wrestling him when he should be, if he's a champion and a true champion, how come he isn't wrestling one of my men? That's what I want to know.
Well, first of all, sir, these matches have to be signed, contracts have to be signed ahead of time. We can't wait till the last minute to...
Well, I've talked to the promoter, and I think we're going to get Missing Link on TV today, except he's going to be wrestling 2 men. I want to show these people just how tough this man is.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I want him to wrestle 2 men. He don't need to wrestle 1 man. 1 man, he don't even need to go to the ring to wrestle 1 man. 2 men at least. And as far as I'm concerned, I've talked to the promoter, and everywhere he goes in the state of Florida, if it can be worked out, he's going to wrestle 2 men.
Wait a second, we've got something going on here. Pistol Pez Watley moving outside the ring. And,
Where's all this?
well, I'll tell you what.
You and me can do our thing together. I just want you to know that right now. I want you to know that I want your brain.
This is uncalled for. If he's supposed to be a wrestler, he needs to be in the ring, not on the floor talking. My men don't do that.
Pistol Pez Watley moving back in, and Mike Golden taking advantage of this. Golden exploding with a series of forearms across the back. And Pistol Pez Watley could be in trouble. That could have been a dangerous mistake going outside the ring.
Well, their Pistol Pez Watley was able to reverse that, come back with a big high back drop and a drop kick, and down goes Mike Golden. Pistol Pez Watley was able to turn the tide on that very quickly.
Pistol Pez Watley retaliating now on Mike Golden, and it is Golden catching an elbow across the top of the skull. Gut wrench salto.
Oh, he does know how to do 1 hold, don't he? He does know 1 hold. All I see him do is punch.
Words from Mr. Percy Pringle, and meanwhile, Mr.
You know,
Rick
the
Rude.
people are going to be surprised. The people of Florida are in for a big surprise because the time has come. The time has come for the dynasty to arrive. My mother's at the top. We're here with all the wrestlers, the best professional wrestlers in the world today. As you can see, my man Rick Rude walking around the ring. He can't even tie the shoelaces on any of my men. Look at that, look.
Beautiful area by,
well,
he got the pinfall. He got the pinfall, so Pistol
why
Pez
don't you
Watley.
wrestle somebody? Why don't
So
you
the
wrestle a
heavyweight
wrestler?
champion,
Why don't you get in the ring with one of my men? Not with no jabroni. Why don't you wrestle one of my men?
I'm gonna tell you what, boss man. It seems like you've been out here doing a whole lot of talking and not enough walking. And I'm gonna tell you what, if you figure that you or any of the men that you got under contract can whoop me, I will be out there in the middle of that ring waiting. I don't make up the schedule, the distinguished NWA does, and I'll meet any opponent that they got, including you. And I'll tell you what, baby.
I'm not a wrestler. I'm not a wrestler.
I'm gonna tell you what. If you do anything in the world, I want you to do this. Call your mama.
You better call your mammy, and you better tell your mammy to get your insurance paid up because you're gonna need some insurance.
We'll be back.
This is the man of the hour.
champion.
This is
We'll
the
be
man
back.
of the hour.
We'll be back in just a
The
moment.
man of the hour. You know, the people are gonna be surprised. The people of Florida are in for a big.
He got the pinfall. He got the pinfall. So Pistol Pez Watley. Waiting now for the arrival of the Hollywood Blondes, and they'll be going up against Tony D'Amato and Mr. Warner. Paul Warner and Tony D'Amato. And wait a second.
There'll be no Hollywood Blondes. There'll be no Hollywood Blondes because I just paid them off. I just gave them a pretty penny, and they're going to the airport. I told you I was going to have one of my men here today, and I want you to watch, take note, because the time has come. The Pringles and the Dynasty are in Florida.
Well, apparently it is indeed going to be the missing link. And so the missing link moving into the ring. And apparently taking on 2 men then, because nobody is with Pringles except the missing link.
Well, let me tell you something, Gordon. I've been around professional wrestling over 20 years. I've traveled around the world. I have never seen a more awesome-looking individual than the missing link. This man looks like he has muscle piled on top of muscle. There's not an ounce of body fat on him.
Warner and D'Amato charged in, and the missing link dispatched them in quick order. And D'Amato now being smashed into that fire turnbuckle. And
We searched all over the world. My computer bank are full of information of wrestlers all over the world, and this man right here has came out on top. in every survey we've made, this man is on top. You're going to see things from this man, Gordon, that you've never seen from any professional wrestler that's ever entered this ring. So I want you to watch, take note, because we're going all over Florida starting today.
Well, fair warning from the boss man, Percy Pringle, and his D'Amato hurdled outside the ring. And
he's coming back in the ring with a chair now. Well, he's using it on himself, not even his opponent.
Smashed the chair and then headbutted Mr. Warner, drove him to the canvas. And, well, I'll tell you, he's a weird, strange, but as Buddy said, an awesome individual.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'm impressed. This man is tough and rugged. It doesn't look like anybody will be able to hurt this man.
Count of three, it is all over. D'Amato outside the ring. And I don't know about this man Pringle. I really don't.
Well, it seems like Percy Pringle has a lot to say, but apparently his men can back up what he says.
Well, that was certainly proven to be a fact just now as the missing link demolished two individuals in short order in a special handy.
This is only a sample, a little taste of what's to come.
Well, I just hope they're able to keep this man under control because he appears to be indeed a dangerous adversary and strange, I think, is the best word I can put for it.
When he just walked by the desk, I noticed that he had lacerated his own forehead, beating himself in the head with a chair, and it didn't faze him. Seemed like he liked this. How do you stop a man like this?
I don't know. He apparently is impervious to pain, and here you see him as he's was beating his head and then suddenly used his head as a battering ram, catching Warner, dropping him to the canvas, and you see once again as he continues to beat himself on the head with that chair, but it has little or no effect upon him whatsoever. In fact, the chair is getting the worst of that one. As you can see, it split in half, and so the missing link in a special handicap match. And of course, you heard the boss man say that the missing link will be wrestling two opponents no matter where he goes, and that's a most interesting observation. Overconfident, I think.
Well, you know, normally in a handicap match, one man's going to be on the apron. He took both of these men on head on, and he didn't even break a sweat. This man is very dangerous.
He is indeed, and so the boss man has made his presence felt in a hurry with a pretty young thing and Rick Rude and the missing link. Don't forget the return of Wild Bill Irwin in the near future, and until next week, speaking on behalf of Buddy Colt, this will be Gordon Solie saying so long from the Sunshine State. Well, in the opening, of course, of the program of Championship Wrestling 85, you saw the fabulous Freebirds in action. We'll tell you more about that a little bit later on in the program. Right now, though, however, we do have a match in progress. Mark Youngblood moving out against Mike Golden. One fall with a 10-minute time limit, and it is Mark Youngblood in the side headlock right now, who is co-holder of the U.S. Tag Team Championship. Buddy Colt is with me, and Buddy, a lot of exciting things upcoming, including the return of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, today here on Championship Wrestling.
That's right, Gordon. There's a lot of exciting matches throughout the state, but just like you just mentioned, Dusty Rhodes is returning. I have had people throughout the state constantly asking me, where is Dusty Rhodes? When is the American Dream coming back? Well, good news, he is back. There's Mike Golden having Mark Youngblood up for a big, hard body slam that kind of slowed Mark Youngblood down a little bit, getting up, having a lot of respect for Mike Golden. Very cautiously circling, going into the referee's position, and retaliating with that same big high body slam.
Mark Youngblood watching his man carefully now. Mark and Jay Youngblood, the U.S. Tag Team Champions. Mark Youngblood gets a side headlock on Mike Golden. Mike Golden is an impressive young competitor. Good athlete. Caught in that side headlock up against the ropes. Fires him off. Youngblood catches him a good shoulder smash coming off the ropes. Good counter on that hip toss by Youngblood. And Golden found himself on the receiving end. All right, Youngblood again circles his man carefully.
Well, Mike Golden coming up with a side headlock on Mark Youngblood, just putting the pressure on. This being a punishing hold, not a submission hold, but a hold that's designed to wear your opponent down, make him breathe harder, use up that valuable energy. There's Mark Youngblood trying for an overhand wrist lock, trying to power his way out. This comes down to a test of strength, and Mike Golden using the hair to pull Mark Youngblood back into that side headlock. Once again, having the advantage over Mark Youngblood.
Later on in the program, we will be seeing, as you saw, Terry Bam Bam Gordy of the Fabulous Freebirds getting a pinfall. Later on in the program, we're going to show you the aftermath of that particular situation. And, well, I can assure you it's created some real problems. Good full body slam by Mark Youngblood. Youngblood started to move in. Golden, backing away in a hurry, going back to the canvas in that near turnbuckle. Golden lashes out, a left boot into the midsection. Elbow to the base of the skull of Youngblood. Youngblood could be in trouble here. Snap mare that takes him back to the canvas once again. Golden drives an elbow into those pectoralis major muscles of Mark Youngblood, and it is Golden closing and again smashing his head into the turnbuckle. And again, the elbow to the base of the skull. And so, Mr. Golden, using a neck breaker now, could have Mark Youngblood in trouble.
Well, you see Jay Youngblood there standing ringside, cheering his brother on, seeing that his brother is in a lot of trouble. There's Mark Youngblood retaliating, coming back with a big hard chop to the upper chest, and down goes Mike Golden. It looks like the tide is changing very quickly. A big high flying drop kick, and Mike Golden is now the man that's in a lot of trouble.
Snap mare again by Mark Youngblood, a lateral press, but not enough for a pinfall. Off the ropes, caught him with a tomahawk chop into the chest area. Up and over his man, crashes down that double chop into the throat. Gets the 3 count, and so a fine victory going to Mark Youngblood. And there you see Jay Youngblood is co-holder of the U.S. Tag Team Championship. And certainly, as I said, a fine victory going to both Mark, and a moral victory going to Jay Youngblood in that first match against Mike Golden. Welcome to Championship Wrestling 85. I'm Gordon Solie, your host. Buddy Cole is with me. I might point out we've got some great matches, Buddy, upcoming in Sarasota and Daytona.
That's right, in Sarasota on February 16th and in Daytona on February 14th. Also in Nassau on February 9th. There's some great matches coming up that you won't want to miss. Also, Gordon, I understand that on February 9th at the St. Petersburg bookstore, Haslam's bookstore, you'll be there for an autograph signing session of your new book.
Yeah, and I hope you'll join me for that one.
I'll be there.
That's going to be at Haslam's bookstore Saturday, February 9th from 2:30 until 4:30. And I might point out, too, Championship Wrestling does return to West Palm Beach this coming Monday. With me right now is the boss man. I want to take a couple of moments to talk to him because things are beginning to happen rather rapidly here in Florida.
You know, Gordon, I've only been here 3 weeks, but I'm pleased to say that the Pringle plan for monopolizing professional wrestling is well on the way. You people have seen that my man Rick Rude is now the Southern Heavyweight Champion. The PYTs are just a little bit away, just a breath away from taking the championship belt from the Youngbloods, and of course the missing link is unbeatable. Now, Gordon, I was asleep the other night. My mother come in, beat it on the door. She said, "Percy, I got some news for you." She says, "Percy, I've heard that Dusty Rhodes is coming back. The man that cleans up this place right here at nighttime after the matches is over. He stooged a little bit. He's on my payroll, but he let me in on the secret that Dusty Rhodes is back. Mr. Rhodes, I want you to know that I'm not intimidated by you at all. I have a stable of street cleaners, and if you want to call yourself Dusty Rhodes, I have a street cleaner that's going to wipe the dust off the roads. and we're going to end an American dream. It might very well be an American nightmare.
Well, that's some interesting comments. I'll tell you what, we're going to have the American dream with us a little bit later on.
Mr. Soley, he calls himself the dealer. He wants to be called the dealer.
He is the
Mr.
dealer.
Rose, you're going to be surprised when you turn the cards over and find out who owns the company of the cards that you're dealing.
Well, we'll find out more about that a little bit later on. The comments from the boss man, the Percy Pringle dynasty. Also, a little bit later on, we'll be chatting with the Freebirds about a very, very unusual situation. And we will be hearing from the American Dream, the dealer himself, Dusty Rhodes. All of this and much more upcoming right after these words. Waiting now for the appearance of the missing link. He's going to move out against Jack Hart. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. So we're watching for that one upcoming. And there you see the boss man, Percy Pringle, and the missing link. And here's a fellow who's, well, really seemingly impervious to pain. But let's see now as Percy Pringle moves in. The missing link, tremendously powerful. And Hart charges him. Hart charges him before Pringle even had a chance to make any comment to the missing link. And so Hart has figured that a quick, rapid offense is going to be his best method. But he is rudely awakened here by the missing link. The missing link took those drop kicks, and it didn't really seem to faze him. He's almost trance-like in his appearance in the ring, buddy.
That's right. You know, look at that big, hard, full body slam, power slam there. There is nothing that can stop the missing link. This man is completely impervious to pain. He is really awesome. There's not an ounce of fat on this man. This man is solid muscle. He's dangerous. It seems like the more punishment that he receives, the more psyched up he becomes and the more dangerous he becomes. I think this man is the kind of man you could tie him up and break his bones individually, and that wouldn't bother this man. I don't know of anyone that could stop the missing link. This man is just almost impossible in the ring.
Got him with a powerful punch to the back of the head. Hooks the near leg, has the knee across the chest, and it is all over for Jack Hart, who tried a good piece of strategy, but it just didn't work on somebody as awesome and as powerful as the missing link. And so your victor in this match, part of Percy Pringle's dynasty, the missing link. It's a pleasure to welcome back to Championship Wrestling 85, and he has been on one heck of a taking care of business tour. I'm referring, of course, to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Welcome back, Dust.
Well, God, it's a tremendous pleasure for the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, to return. 1984 tour is over. The things that went down for me throughout this country, no man had seen or touched throughout the ages could reach for what the 84 tour was about. Now in 1985, my new tour slammed that sucker down. 1985 has begun. Once upon a time, I seen a man similar to the boss man. The boss man says, God and soul, I am the boss man. I am the one that has the cards. I own the cars, the automobiles, the women, the ladies of the night. I say, boss man to you, I am the dealer. And we do not play any games unless I deal the cards. And when Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, deals the cards, then you know what it's all about. Ric Flair, the world's heavyweight champion, got to deal with Dusty Rhodes. Everybody got to deal with Dusty Rhodes. And the missing link got to deal with Dusty Rhodes. Now, be it known right now throughout Championship Wrestling of Florida and this country that my Slam That Sucker tour down 1985 has begun. And the boss man, when you talk to your mama the next time, you tell that lady that she shouldn't have raised such a, I don't even want to say it. But the whole thing you got to remember is, when she knocked on the door, she said, Percy, Percy, come here quick. The dealer's here. The dealer's here. And you know what's going to happen, Percy? The link will be missing, Jack. Thank you, guys.
Oh, ho, ho. All right, the comments from the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and he has wasted no time, buddy, in setting full warning to Mr. Percy Pringle and the Pringle Dynasty. The link will be missing. That's coming right up front with it.
Well, it certainly seems that way. He has put them on short notice.
He has indeed. Looking now for appearance now of the Pretty Young Things, well, I hear the music. That means they're on their way. Pretty Young Things and Percy Pringle. Okay, the boss man telling Coco Ware to move out of the ring, and he's telling Norvell Austin to take on young Mr. Williams. One fall, 10-minute time limit. So the Pretty Young Things with Percy Pringle at ringside. And it's Norvell Austin moving out against Williams. And Norvell Austin wastes no time. Has him up a full body slam after an elbow to the base of the skull. Catching that axis vertebrae, a high knee lift. Williams down again. And brother, this Norvell Austin is allowing this man no surcease whatsoever.
Well, Norvell Austin has just overwhelmed Williams. Williams seems like he has a terrific physical development there, but he's just no match for Norvell Austin. Norvell is trying to make very short work of him. Look, big high knee drop coming down on the chest of Williams, and Williams is just about out of it. You see the boss man standing ringside, cheering him on to victory, and his partner Coco Ware. Norvell Austin not having any trouble at all. The big hard boot to the upper chest, and seems like Williams hasn't had a chance to function at all. Just no match for Norvell Austin. Big high lariat across the upper throat of Williams, and it's just like he's there standing there taunting him. Feeling no problems at all with this man.
Partial neckbreaker by Norvell Austin has Williams back to the canvas once again. And Austin has that sadistic streak in him, brings his man back to his feet, double thrust into the throat. Williams down to one knee. It is Williams firing to the midsection, fires again. And that one just glanced off the stomach, and Norvell Austin caught him with a high knee lift. Austin very much in charge right now. Austin has him up a full bear hug. into a belly-to-back, or a belly-to-belly, rather. Took him to the canvas. Williams' upper body has reddened considerably from the punishment he's taken. Austin clubbing right hand that drops Williams to one knee. Those eyes are crossed. Forward backbreaker now on Williams. And Williams coming up very, very slowly. Pringle says these men, the pretty young things, are just a breath away from winning the U.S. Tag Team Championship from the Youngbloods, Mark and Jay Youngblood. That's going to be a chore indeed for them.
Well, it looks like Williams is fighting back as best he can, but not having a lot of effect on Norvell Austin. Well, Norvell Austin is just too smart. Saw Williams coming in and brought that knee up, caught him in the upper chest, knocked a lot of air out of Williams. Uh-oh, looks like he dropped his throat across that top rope. This could just about put the man out.
Austin across the throat. Has him for the pinfall. Has him for the pinfall. So Norvell Austin, one of the pretty young things, being embraced now by Percy Pringle, the boss man. Norvell is the winner. As we noted at the beginning of the program, of course, we saw the fabulous Freebirds in action, particularly Terry Bam Bam Gordy. The situation that occurred almost immediately thereafter is one that I think certainly bears some conversation. So I've asked Mr. Bad Street USA himself, Michael Hayes of the fabulous Freebirds, to join us here at the desk to go into detail into this situation. Michael, I think perhaps you are better qualified than anyone to explain to the people just exactly what did happen regarding the sudden appearance of these assassins.
Well, you know, we came here, and the whole thing was unexpected, Gordon Solie. As you know, the main reason I ever came here was to record and give you a Christmas present. And then the Saint and the Russians decided to stick their nose in somewhere where they should have never thought to do. Because I told them from the beginning, whatever it took, the Freebirds would come down here and they would run them Russians out of here. And if we ain't done it, then grits ain't groceries, you understand? Because they are gone. Then, the Saint, my brother Bam Bam promised you the mask and he took off the mask. Now everybody knows by now it was the assassin, the #1 masked man in professional wrestling that attacked me. But let me tell you something, brother. It ain't the first time, and it won't be the last time. I don't know why, Gordon Solie. I ain't paid to answer questions. Like Leonard Skinner said, ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies. And this ain't no lie at all. When you come up against me face to face, it's gonna be a different story, because I'm afraid a man that has to hide his face ain't never tried to walk down no bad street. And you're going to have to come walk down the street to meet me, brother. And I'm one of the baddest walking around.
Tell you what, Michael, let's do this if we may, because this is a pretty distressing situation. But let's go back and take a look at what happened. This followed the fall that was taken by Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right. Another victory for the Freebirds. The Freebirds have run over everybody since they've been here.
All right, well, let's go back and take a look at the follow-up to that situation. There's the mask. It's been removed. Terry Gordy living
like
with
we
his...
promised. Okay, see? And there it is, right there. Right there, Gordon Solie. Attack from behind. That's a real brave man right there. It's a real brave man, baby.
Well, there's no questioning or no denying the appearance of the #1 assassin. And I just wonder if that wasn't at the hands of the Saint and the Russians to try and hide some of their embarrassment.
Well, you know, if they couldn't get it done, if they wanted to hire somebody, I mean, that's what the man's name is, Assassin. And I guess a hired assassin is supposed to do a number. But see, you should have packed your lunch, boy, because it's an all-day job. Because I'm still walking, I'm still talking, and I'm still going to rock and roll, whether you or any of the hired assassins comes after me, baby, because I got some brothers, and we don't back down from nothing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, the Assassins do have some comments that I think bear listening to at this time, and I think it points up the intensity that's involved here and the fact that the man is a paid assassin. Let's listen to these comments.
Yeah, let's listen.
A mí, nadie en este mundo, cuando me hacen esto a mí, tú vas a pagar en sangre los Freebirds. Y ahora que el asesino está aquí, él va a cuidar a todos. No quiero verte ninguno, pero tú vas a pagar en sangre.
Yeah, Hayes. You know why the assassin's here, don't you, Hayes? Well, let me tell you something, Freebird. You're mine. Mine, do you understand? Because I'm gonna get you, and I'm gonna get your hair. I'm gonna embarrass and I'm gonna humiliate you, and I'm gonna make you as obsolete as that stupid song, The Freebirds, as your stupid movement, The Freebirds. It's over with. It's passé. The assassin does exactly what he says he's going to do. I always have. My reputation, I've left a trail of broken bones clear across this country because anybody, any man that I go after, he's doomed. And that goes for you. That goes for your two partners. Before I'm through, you'll be as bald as a billiard ball, and so will your partners. You'll be as obsolete as that music. Because one thing I do swear. I said, listen to me now, Hayes. I know you can hear me. Listen to me. Listen to me good. I swear. I swear, do you hear me? You're doomed. You're doomed. You're finished in wrestling forever.
You know something, Gordon Solie? He's talking about going after the gold. A lot of people have gone after this gold, and a lot of people have walked away empty-handed, just like the Russians. And you talk about making me and my brothers obsolete, talking about the Freebirds and making rock and roll. We're just like rock and roll. We're here to stay. And there ain't nobody around here going to run us out, Jack. So if you're talking about doomed, hey, I ain't going to come out and cry the blues, because the first time I heard the blues was the day I was born. And I'm still walking, I'm still talking, and no matter where it's at, be it Miami, Orlando, Tampa, or in your backyard, I really don't give a damn. When you look at me, one-on-one, and with my brothers behind me, I ain't gonna be doomed, brother. You gonna meet Bad Street in the baddest way.
Well, I don't think there's much more that can be said about that situation. Michael Hayes has made his point clear. The assassin has made his point clear. It's the irresistible force meeting the immovable object. There's going to be an explosion. Pistol Pez Wadley, the Southern Heavyweight Champion, getting set to move out against Mike Allen. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. There's the bell. Joining us here at the desk now is the Florida Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, Mr. B, Brian Blair. High waistlift takedown by Pistol Pez Wadley has Allen to the canvas. And Brian, pleasure to have you aboard.
Well, Gordon, as always, it's a pleasure to be here. You know, I'd like to welcome my good friend Dusty Rhodes back. You know, I know you're glad to see him back, and so are a lot of other people. Well, except for maybe the Boss Man and the Missing Link. I know they're a little bit worried now. The American Dream's back. He's back in full swing. He's in the best shape he's ever been in, and we're all excited about it.
Wadley very much in command right now. Gut-wrench salto by Pistol Pez Wadley out of the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Buddy, he's looking strong.
Well, he really is. You know, since losing the Southern Heavyweight title last week right here on television to Rick Rude, this man is really incensed now. He very much wants to win that title back, and he has to go through all opponents. If there was any way that Mike Allen could have an upset victory over Pistol Pez Wadley, it of course would put Mike Allen in a title contention. Right now you see he raked the eyes of Pistol Pez Wadley to slow Pistol Pez down. These punches to the head are not having a whole lot of effect. I'll tell you, this Pistol Pez Whatley, when he comes over with one, he has a dynamite punch. Right now, just rake the back of Mike Allen, and like I said before, he is really on the comeback trail to try and regain that Southern heavyweight title.
He is indeed, and Freudian slip on my part, because in many ways I still consider Pez Whatley the Southern heavyweight champion, but you're correct, Rick Rude did win that title last week. Brian, I know, of course, that you've got a lot of people gunning for you in that Florida title.
Well, that's right, Gordon, and I told the people when I got the title that I defended against any and all comers. Even Dusty Rhodes is a former Florida heavyweight title. I know Dutch Mantel's made mention of it, and so has a lot of other people. And whether it was Dusty Rhodes, Dutch Mantel, or Jesse Barr, who I've defeated at every match that I've ever wrestled against. I've beat him at his own game in I quit matches, no disqualification matches, all kind of matches. And he's to me, he's a crybaby and he's a chicken. He's a good athlete. I can't take that away from him, but he's complaining now that I'm hiding behind a no disqualification rule, which I beat him at in the first place. So, I don't know what to say, Gordon, other than, I'm proud to represent the people of Florida, and I'm proud to be the heavyweight champion.
Well, we're certainly proud to have you as the champion. A snap mare by Pistol Pez Whatley has Allen back to the canvas, and a rear chin lock now by Whatley. Whatley has had an amazing career, both in the amateur ranks and in the pro ranks. And it's Allen trying to get some extra leverage.
That's right, Gordon. Pistol Pez Whatley was an outstanding amateur wrestler at the University of Chattanooga, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, and Pez uses a lot of amateur moves in his professional wrestling, and he's one of the amateurs that have adopted very well to the sport of professional wrestling.
Well, after examining Pistol Pez Whatley background very closely, I understand that he had quite a career going also in boxing, and that he very well could have taken the road towards professional boxing, but he chose professional wrestling and has excelled at wrestling.
Yes, indeed, no question about it. Pistol Pez in the yellow trunks up against those ring ropes now. Allen catches him a hard right hand to the side of the jaw, one to the midsection on Pistol Pez Whatley, rips across the eyes, smashes his head into the turnbuckle, smashes it again, and all he's doing is getting Whatley mad. Whatley retaliates in kind and has Allen shook. An elbow to the prefrontal lobe on Mike Allen, and another elbow that has Allen in trouble now. Whatley fires set that fist and dropped him. And, brother, he's gone. He is gone. He was out, a single punch. And attesting to the former boxing background of one Pistol Pez Whatley, brother, he cocked that fist and let fly, and it was all over for Mike Allen.
Sure was, Gordon. Sure was.
You were talking a moment ago about Jesse Barr and all, and I understand that you have even agreed now to have the disqualification rule waived in a match against him anywhere, anytime, meaning that the first man disqualified loses, or you could lose the title with disqualification.
Well, that's right. To me, Jesse Barr's a crybaby. I don't like to get out here and say, call people names or anything. I've always believed in being a gentleman, but I've beat Jesse Barr at every match I've wrestled him at. I've got the Florida heavyweight title right now, and what can I say? If that's the kind of match he wants again, we can have that kind of match. As far as I'm concerned, the people are ready to see me defend the title against other people. I've just recently defended against Boris Zirkov. I'm in the process of possibly defending the title against Terry Funk, and I've got a whole list of names right here, Gordon. And, I'd like to say just for a minute, the other day it kind of tickled me. I was coaching the kids at the Police Athletic League with my good friend Coach Lloyd, and I got a couple 5-year-old kids, and one of the little boys came up to me and he said, Mr. B, he said, why don't you cheat first on those guys? Those guys be cheating and all that kind of stuff. He said, why don't you just go out and cheat on them first? It made me sit back and kind of think, and I thought, well, being the Florida heavyweight champion, you got to go out there, and basically, it says wrestling on the marquee, and that's what I believe in. I go out there to wrestle. I go out there to do my best, and I said to him, sometimes I do cheat first, but it's the man who cheats last. It's the man who gets his hand raised at the end that counts. So I'm going to always go out there and do the best I can, and if it comes down to it, I will fight fire with fire.
Thank you so very much, Mr. B. Brian Blair, the Florida heavyweight champion. Not advocating cheating, but he's advocating if you have to fight fire, fight it with fire. We'll be back in a moment. On behalf of the family and also the Florida Sheriff's Youth Fund, Boys Ranch and Girls Villa, allow me to take a moment to express our deep appreciation to all of you for the outstanding contributions that have been going to the Eddie Graham Memorial Fund. This most recent check in the sum of $500 will be forwarded on to them, and our thanks again to all of you for your contributions. It's time now to take a look at our missing children's bulletin for this week here on Championship Wrestling. And I would like to point out that our first missing child is Jennifer Lynn Tolley. She is 2 years old. She was last seen May 28th in Kissimmee, Florida. She was in the company of her non-custodial father, David Tolley. He may be driving a brown Dodge van with a Florida license plate, HYG117. Our second missing child is Brandy Ann Schnoor. She is a 5-year-old. She was last seen on June 10th, 1984 in St. Petersburg in the company of her non-custodial grandmother, Joy F. Lucas. Anyone having any information on either of these children in Florida, call 1-800-342-0821. Outside of Florida, 1-904-488-5221. There you have it, the master of the bullwhip, Dutch Mantell, getting set to move out against Rick Rude. Rick Rude, the newly crowned Southern Heavyweight Champion, in a highly controversial situation last week with Pistol Pez Whatley. But it's Mantell against Rude, 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. And you talk about 2 fire eaters, we've got them here.
Well, I'll tell you, Rick Rude is really going to have his hands full with a man like Dutch Mantell. Dutch Mantell is just double tough. If you want to wrestle, he can wrestle. If you want to have a barroom brawl type situation, Dutch Mantell is right there. There he goes down with an arm drag takedown, and looks like Rick Rude is just sliding out to go around. Oh, and here comes Percy Pringle, the boss man, complaining to the referee, saying he had pulled the tights, which of course he didn't. Now this Rick Rude has quite an impressive physique on him, a very powerfully built athlete. You can tell that this man is constantly in training, and under the direction of the boss man, you can be sure that he trains all the time. Has a little bit of advice there from the boss man. Let's see what his new tactics might be against Dutch Mantell.
Rude, of course, former professional arm wrestling champion, is originally out of Robbinsdale, Minnesota, now makes his home in Beverly Hills, California. Extremely powerful. No avoir de pois on this man. He is lean and mean and is ready to give Dutch Mantell all... Mantell! Good reversal. Couple of quick spin unders by Dutch Mantell on Rick Rude.
Well, I noticed Dutch Mantell is keeping his eye on the boss man, not knowing exactly what to expect. Sometimes the outside man, such as the manager, can have an intimidating effect on the man in the ring. Knowing there is that extra person there, you have to keep an eye on them as well, never knowing what he might do. But right now, Dutch Mantell has the situation pretty well in hand with his arm bar on Rick Rude. Well, there's Rick Rude going for a body slam, but Dutch Mantell hanging on to that arm bar, coming up and still having that arm bar. And it looks like Percy Pringle is quite concerned about his man, Rick Rude, getting the short end of the match right now.
Mantell, of course, who has openly stated that he's looking for a championship, be it Brian Blair's Florida title, Rude's Southern title. Of course, the one title that they all seek is the NWA World title, held by the world champion Ric Flair.
Well, that was quite a series of wrestling holds and wrestling maneuvers, both men being able to very well counter the other hold. But look at the end result was that Dutch Mantell was coming out on top, and once again, Rick Rude slid out onto the floor to get some advice from his manager, the boss man.
And Rude looked a bit dispirited when he came out, complaining now to the referee, Bill Alfonso. I was having dinner with my good friend Milt Spencer and his wife Bobby this past week, and we were discussing this man Rude and the fact that he has combined his talents with that of Percy Pringle, and he's going to be a dangerous situation to contend with, and having already won that Southern title is going to make him even more dangerous.
Well, for any man that can defeat Pez Whatley, regardless of how he does it, is a dangerous adversary. And it looks like right there, Dutch Mantell was able to block a hip toss that looked like Rick Rude was trying to go for. And here comes Dutch Mantell up on top again.
Excellent block by Mantell, and Rude now getting some further advice here from Pringle, and you can see Mantell becoming agitated with Pringle, although Pringle is keeping his distance. Percy Pringle, and it's Rude missing with the right hand as Mantell slipped away from it. 11 months and 27 days on the front lines of Vietnam. Dutch Mantell.
I think Dutch Mantell will want to try as best he can to stay away from the ropes on the side of Percy Pringle, not knowing exactly what he might do. See, right there is Percy Pringle trying to interfere. Just got his attention, which gave Rick Rude a chance to come back and take over on Dutch Mantell and start a little trouble for him.
A diversionary tactic, and for the moment it appears to be working. Mantell's got some problems. Rude catches him once again with that elbow. Mantell in a continuing bit of problem here. Mantell powers out before the count, however.
There's Rick Rude with that big elbow on the upper back of Dutch Mantell. And that hard sling into the turnbuckle. I'll tell you, that turnbuckle is some kind of solid when you hit it full force like that. Percy Pringle now looking a little gleeful. Well, how quickly the tide can turn in professional wrestling.
Mantell delivered a boot that time. Mantell delivers another boot right at the belt line. Mantell has him set a hard, chopping right hand to the side of the head. Mantell in behind his man. High atomic knee drop on Rick Rude. Rude, the Southern champion, in trouble here. An Irish whip off the ropes. A lariat that catches him coming off the ropes. And it is Mantell in with a lateral press, but Percy Pringle keeping him occupied, keeping the referee. Wait a minute. The missing link with a series of those headbutts on Dutch Mantell. The referee calls for the bell. The referee has called for the bell. Disqualification. The missing link charges Mantell once again. Hold on. Here comes Pistol Pez Whatley exploding into...
Well, there's Pistol Pez Whatley. He's on fire. Pistol Pez Whatley is trying to clean the house with a Rick Rude and the missing link. The missing link bailing out. It looks like it's evened up now.
We've got total bedlam and chaos breaking loose there. All right, one fall television time remaining. Wild Bill Irwin going up against Rocky King. Irwin returning to Florida after a long absence. And he, too, is pretty handy with a bullwhip. Irwin removing his outer raiments now and getting set to move against Rocky King in the purple trunks. King, a well-muscled young athlete. Duck under, go to one side, and a takedown by Irwin. King trying to reverse that situation, but it's King caught on the side headlock.
Right, Wild Bill Irwin, of course, is calling himself the king of the bullwhip, much as to the same name that we have for Dutch Mantell. So there's no doubt there is going to be a sort of a confrontation here, which Jesse Barr has made public a statement just some weeks ago that he was bringing in Wild Bill Irwin for that purpose. Now, Wild Bill Irwin right now might be having his hands full with Rocky King.
Well, I'll tell you what, Irwin has a voracious appetite for conflict, and very quickly drives a knee into the midsection twice, a forearm across the side of the jaw, and another clubbing forearm. King fires to the midsection, had little or no effect on Irwin. Irwin takes him back to the canvas with a hip lock takedown, keeps the side headlock.
Well, seems like Wild Bill Irwin has been able to take just about everything that Rocky King has been able to dish out. What makes the man tough is the man that can take the punishment as well as dish it out, and it seems like Wild Bill Irwin can take it. So this man can be a very dangerous adversary in the ring.
Irwin keeping that side headlock, and notice the way he had it just below the cheekbone. It's King now trying to bring it up above the head, see if he can't turn that into a top wrist lock if it all broke it, but as he did, it was Irwin driving a knee again. And so, Rocky King got him with a backbreaker. Misses with an elbow. Oh, brother. He brought that foot up like a battering ram, and that took it all out of King. That strictly took the wind out of his sails. Using the ropes as a catapult. High suplex. Count of three. Wild Bill Irwin. And what I must say is a most impressive victory over a very fine young athlete, Rocky King. Well, all I can say is that Mr. Irwin has certainly made his presence felt, but then so has the dealer, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. Rhodes is back, and I'm sure that he...
Wait a minute, Mr. Sword and Gooley. Hey, I hear a lot of people are coming down here because there's a lot of talent. I'm not here for talent. I'm here for Dutch. He calls himself, or maybe you call him, I don't know who calls him, the master of the bullwhip. Well, I'm telling you one thing, Dutch. I call him Dutch because he knows me, and I know you. We met before. Think about it. Maybe back in Portland, you geek. He ran then. He'll run again. Dutch, come on, get in my sight. You'll feel it again, boy.
Well, fair warning being issued by Wild Bill Irwin. And so your words were a prophecy of sorts, buddy. No question about that.
That's right. Well, he just made a statement that Dutch Mantell ran. I find it very hard to believe that Dutch Mantell would run from anyone.
Yeah, he doesn't, that's for sure. And the boss man, you got to face the dealer. There's no way around it. That's about all the time we have for this week. For Championship Wrestling 85, on behalf of Buddy Colt, this will be Gordon Solie saying be sure to tune us in again next week at the same time. Till then, so long from the Sunshine State.